who has 4 minutes.
Gormaigad Jascan Corlegus Buya Goraunio and Ewershaw in you. Shoppa and Sherbishi Moira is in hospital Litracan. And Minister, I'm appalled to say that this isn't the first time that I've raised this issue on the floor of this House. The fact that we have a maternity theatre suite in Letterkenny University Hospital that has never been commissioned over 18 years later. Indeed, there was widespread public anger when myself and Padraig McLaughlin revealed to the people of Donegal that that is the case, that the bespoke facility that was constructed in the year of 2000 as part of the redevelopment of the hospital's renal dialysis block has never once been used. Not once, Minister, has it been used. And incredibly, when pressed to explain the rationale behind this, when we met with the hospital management at Letterkenny University Hospital, we were told that it was because of resources. The necessary staffing was never put in place. The absence of other resources never happened. So therefore, the theatre was never commissioned. So we're now approaching almost 2 decades, and just before I took to my feet, I was thinking about the Minister for Health who has to make a decision on this matter. He was 14 years of age when Dail Eireann announced the new theatre in Letterkenny University Hospital. He was probably entering secondary school. And today he is Minister for Health, and over that whole period, not one mother has had the benefit of using that theatre that the taxpayers of Donegal and elsewhere spent a lot of money in creating. So the question we have is, why is this happening, and when will it be put right? It is my view it's down to ensure competence as part of successive governments that this is the case. While at worst it can be labelled for what it truly is, it's neglect of a part of a country which has been neglected time and time again by successive governments. And that, in my view, is shameful, and it's a dereliction of their duty towards the people of Donegal, but in this instance particularly a dereliction of their duty towards the women of Donegal. It is a deplorable situation, but to make matters worse, it comes at a time when the hospital continues to experience record-breaking levels of overcrowding. We've had Letterkenny University Hospital in emergency status since the start of this year, actually even before the start of this year. We have lengthening patient waiting lists. And the hospital has 4 operational inpatient operating theatres at the minute, yet there's only 3 of them that can be used all the time. And the reason for that is because the 4th one now has to be used as the maternity theatre, because the other maternity theatre, built 18 years ago, was never commissioned, which means the hospital is down to 3 full-time operating theatres, which leads to the fact that we hear consultants telling us that they can't get operating theatre time because one of the theatres is now used for emergency caesarean sections and so on. And that means that the 5 theatres that we have in Donegal, only 3 of them are used at a full-time basis. Now, that is not effective use of resources, and that has been the case for the last 18 years. So, Timidjit Corkisht ar an rialtas inniu, Cadéta go le Harlú he was seo, and we went to go le Egal and Shamra seo, ar fai Orkney and the Jagala, and Wallen Feim and the Slantukas and Rialtas got her, and Pakash Arigid or Foil Sadois Kajiklin Shaw or Horagart. It is unbelievable to think that while lists grow in Donegal and demand for operations and procedures are at an all-time high, that the hospital has a purpose-built maternity theatre on site that has been lying idle since the year 2000. It takes up half of the entire floor of this where the maternity centre is. And to make things worse, a mother who's given birth and who develops complications in the maternity suite, what should happen is they should go next door to the theatre for an emergency caesarean section. What now happens is they have to be wheeled out of the maternity unit, up the halls, into a lift, taken to a different floor where the theatre is, where they can be operated.
You have 2 more minutes.
So we're asking for action. This is a campaign that we're very, very committed to, and on behalf of the women in Donegal and the children yet to be born in Donegal, we're asking for the Minister for action on this issue.
You make a very sensible argument, and you make a very practical argument, and you make a very reasonable argument on all fronts, and I think it's accepted across the House that that is the future. And while we're grappling with so many issues in the health service. Here is a solution. And this is the role of representatives like yourself and like other representatives in the House, is to refocus, because I think that's what's missing here, is to refocus the energies and the efforts to utilise this space. And as you say, it's more than for the women and the children and the fathers of these children into the future, but it's also for the general well-being and health of the general population of Donegal, nothing to do with maternity services, because it will increase the throughput in the rest of Letterkenny General Hospital, where we can get many more procedures done, and we can eliminate the waiting list that we spend so much time beating ourselves up over here in this House politically trying to get to the bottom of it. So it's eminently sensible, as I said. It's something that can be achieved, I believe, and thank you for raising the House, and it does afford us an opportunity in the department as politicians to get our officials to go back to the HSE and to work with the CLT group to try and refocus efforts to get this commissioned and get it utilised today before tomorrow, sooner rather than later. So, Gramagat, Hakta and Gramagat.
And Kel Canella and Robert Troy to discuss the reports into